I'm Lydia Lambert, and this is Public Speaking with Professor Troyer at Sterling College. In my audience today, I have Sarah Sondergaard and Jake Jitterson, who are my coworkers. My topic today is the gender wage gap within men and women. I want you guys to picture a woman in your life. Maybe it's a girlfriend, maybe it's a sister, maybe it's a mother or a friend. And I want you to picture them in their job. Maybe they're teachers, maybe they're a superintendent, or maybe they're a nurse, or a bus driver, or a teacher. And I want you to think back in 2011, according to the National Revenue Service, the women would have to work 108 more days than a man to earn what men earned. In America, women earn on average $36,000 a year, and men earn $47,000. That's almost an $11,000 difference. But to break that down, I want to explain to you guys, according to the National Product Analysis Survey, of how this applies practically. So for instance, if a woman earned what men earned, in Wisconsin, a woman could actually have 1.4 years worth of food, more than they do now. In Colorado, a woman could have 2,700 more gallons of gas than they have in their lifetime. Now, I'm from Chicago, and my parents live in Sterling, and that's a lot of gas that I could gain if I was paid as much as a man. And lastly, in Washington, women could have over 14 more months of rent paid for if they earned what men earned. Now, what I'm proposing is that just as we lobby against racial discrimination in the workforce and religious discrimination and even sexual orientation, why not think and fight for gender equality within the workforce? Equal pay is not to create dissension between men and women, or even to cause bitterness. It is simply to raise awareness to injustice that's going on in America. So I'm first going to talk to you about when discrimination begins in the workforce. Then I'm going to explain what would happen through surveys that found that if women were paid equal to men. And then I'm going to explain why this is an important cause, and even if it doesn't affect you directly, it's important to think about. So first, you may be asking yourself, when does discrimination begin? According to the American Association of University Women, they found that a man and a woman right out of college with the same education, the same degree, the same grades, the same marital status, and even the same number of children, that if they were both given a job at the same company, the men would actually be paid 5% more. And 10 years down the road, that would increase to 12% more than the women. They have also found that within women CEOs, that women CEOs are paid $658 less than men per week. Now, $658 is a lot, but after you add that up per week, that's a lot of money. And so what this survey found is that it begins directly out of college. So secondly, I want to help you guys picture what would America look like if women were paid equal to men. According to the 2010 to 2012 study done by the Current Population Annual Social and Economic Survey, they found that actually, if women were paid equal to men, that poverty would reduce in single motherhood. So they found that 71% of all mothers work full-time. So that means that they're trying to balance their family and their children while working full-time. That's a big number. But even more so, 31% of those mothers, or almost half, are single mothers and trying to provide for their family on their own. The study found that if women were paid equal to men, the poverty within single motherhood would be reduced from 11% to 4.6%, which is over half. It also found that American economy could produce $44.7 billion more than it already is. And if this gender wage gap continues to progress at its slow rate that it is, I will be 63 by the time women are paid equal to men in 2058. Now, I understand that this doesn't apply to everyone. Maybe you're a male, or maybe you make more than your husband, or maybe you're single and you're getting paid minimum wage like your friends. But I want to champion you guys to think about in the 50s and 60s when black people were being discriminated. It didn't directly affect white people, but they sought to fight against the discrimination because it affected people negatively. And I understand that men and women are created differently. I understand that God created us with different purposes, and we are biologically, emotionally, physically, all different. But I still think that discrimination is unjust when it happens in the workforce. So in conclusion, I want you guys to think about, as you're going through your lives, the women in your life. Maybe they're teachers, maybe they're nurses, maybe they're single mothers struggling. If equal pay was real in America between men and women, then maybe a single mother could have 1.5 more years of food to provide for their family. Or maybe it's a difference between 2,700 gallons of gas. I'm not sure how all that would work out, and nothing's perfect, but I do know that injustice in America can be fought. And I would encourage you guys to fight against the injustice of the pay-wage gap.